welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to script. I've heard quite a few people asking, hey, how do you script? And I'm like, well, I might make a video on that, but I've gotten enough lift, if you will, and now I'm going to make a video. So when you open up your Roblox Studio, this is what you're gonna see. You're just gonna see base plate, flat terrain, village, castle, suburban, racing, pirate island, western city, all of these things. And these are good if you're just making a game for you and your friends. But if you're making a game that you want other people to see, your best bet will probably be base plate or flat terrain. I personally am going to go with base plate, so we can just get started on scripting. So let me go ahead and load in. And if I close all these out, the first thing you're going to see is this. And you're going to see select, move, scale, rotate, all of this. It may seem a little bit overwhelming, but trust me, it's not that much. You do have other menus, but we'll learn about that later. So the first thing we're going to get is you're going to right click on this blank space. If there's no blank space, just right click anywhere where there isn't. You can even right click on text, but anywhere where actually, anywhere. I didn't even know that. Alright. Yeah, you just right click anywhere except for, blurred out buttons. You can't right click those. But, the first thing you're going to want to get is you're going to go down to Explorer. Go ahead and click on that. And this may, pop up in a new tab or something. You're going to go over here and just drop it. Drag, drag, and drop. Just like that. Perfect. Now, you're going to want your output, which is your console. Teach you more about that later. And again, just drag over here and drop. Of course, this is your preference. If you really, really want to, you could probably have this over here and this over here. But I personally don't do that. It's all up to the user, but this is the most typical developer setup, So now you're going to go down until you find properties. Go ahead and click that, and this might pop up over here, but you're gonna want to go down here, drag and drop. Perfect. Alright, so now that we have our base things, one more thing that you might want is toolbox, so go ahead and click that. Now, we're not going to be using the toolbox in today's video. I might teach you how to do it in other videos, but this is more if you don't want to script, you just want to build, I could drag in some random Quenty's light pole, and then this is a fully functioning light pole, but we're not going to do that. A zombie, all that stuff. We're not going to do that, though. We're going to be making our own script that turns on and off a light, alright? So let's go ahead and get rid of that. So first thing you're going to need is a part. I mean, every game starts with a part. And here's your part. Okay, what's the most important thing to do when you first insert a part? I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, if you guess correctly, let me know in the comments below. But the first thing you want to do with a part is anchor it. See, if it's not anchored, and I go ahead and move it up using the move tool, it has these draggable things here. If I go ahead and move it up and go here and click run, which doesn't spawn in my character. If I click play here, it puts my character where my camera was, just like that. But I don't want to do that. I'm gonna run so that my character isn't there, but I can see what's going on. So as you see, yeah, it just falls to the ground, and we don't want that. I mean, for some cases, some scenarios, you might want that, but personally, we don't. With our tutorial today. So I'm gonna anchor it. We'll just leave it there. So when you click on this, you'll see a bunch of things. You don't have to worry about these right now, but there's quite a few things. We'll work on that later. Little mouse button allows you to do this. I don't think many people use that, but it is something. Anyway, there's brick color and color. Now on color, there are 3 colors: R, G, and B. All of them have a maximum of 255. So red, green, and blue, RGB, right? If you click on the color palette thing there, I'm not sure what it is, you get this. So you can pick one of these colors, or you can make your own by dragging the slider wherever you want, and then this will change how dark or bright it is. So if we want straight red, 25500, 255 red, which is the maximum red, 0 green, and 0 blue. Of course, you can just play around with these, like 120 and 10. There, now you have a like magenta color, right? Or if you want dark mode, 48, 48, 48, or something like that, right? I'm just gonna stick with this 48, 48, 48 because it looks pretty nice. All right, now that we have this, you can right-click this part in Workspace. Right-click this part, and you can go ahead and click Rename. Rename it to whatever you want. I'm gonna rename it Light since that's what we're doing. So now that I renamed it Light, let's go ahead and let's get to the scripting, right? So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to insert a light. So right click, insert object, or if you see this plus icon, go ahead and click that. I'll show you the insert object, it's the same thing. And type in light. Light. I totally spelled that wrong. So type in light. Now there's point light, spotlight, and surface light. You can do any of these. Point light points, basically it's a light pointing at this brick, so this brick will be the thing that glows. If I type in light, there's spotlight, which is a spotlight. If I turn up the brightness, you can see it's currently like spotting that way. I can change the angle, any of that. Range, how far it goes. But yeah, it just makes it a spotlight, and we don't want that. We don't want a spotlight. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna get a surface light. Now this puts a light on one of the many surfaces that this brick has. But which surface do we want? Well, we're gonna want the bottom one, because this light is shining down, right? If we were to put it top, right, then we're not going to see anything really because it's shining up into the atmosphere. But we want it to be on the bottom, so let's go ahead and change this to bottom. And as you see, we have our light. You can change the brightness according to your taste. If you want a really bright room or if you want a dark room. You can change the angle again. Or you can, let me go and set this to 90 again. And you can change the range, of course, which depends on how far, changes how far down it goes. You can see it goes really far down here. But anyway, we're just gonna set it to like 15 brightness and 5, no, not 5, like 15 range, right? You can turn on shadows, and basically that makes this light have shadows. If you were to click on lighting, go down and click voxel twice and go to shadow map. I like setting this to 0. It's all up to personal taste. Now we got future is bright, you know, but you can change this to like 5 or something. 4. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna set it to 2, and we're gonna put this back to normal. But that basically allows the light to have shadows. Sometimes it'll dim the light a little bit, but that's just, you know, that just comes with it. All right, now let's get to the fun part. So go ahead and insert another object and type in click. There. Click detector. Now click on the click detector, and there's one thing that you want. Max activation distance. You can change this to 15, which basically just changes how far the player is before they can't click it anymore. If you want someone to be able to click it from across the map, you can just set it to like a quintillion, right? The maximum number right there. But I don't think we want that. Let's just set it to the normal 32. Once we got that, go ahead and click plus, right? And now type in script. Now you want a normal script, not a local script or a module script. Local script runs only to one player. You can see a script that runs on clients, not servers. Local scripts only run when parented under one of the following: a player's backpack, one of those. And a module script is, well, a script fragment, right? It's only when another script requires it, when another script calls it. But we're just going to do a normal script. This script will appear to all players, and that's what we want, right? If your players were to join the game and you click that, they'd see the light turn off with a normal script. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you see, it starts off with print hello world, and if we go ahead and run, then you'll see it says hello world. So we're going to change this though. So we want to get the click from the click detector, right? And change the surface light accordingly. So let's start with a simple demonstration. So when I type in script, this is where pretty much everything starts. Script references the script. You can see the ancestry. What's the parent? The parent, which means like what's above this. What's the parent of script? Light. What's the parent of light? Workspace. So saying script.parent is saying script.parent. And now I can access anything in here. So I could click on .surface light, right? Or if I were to do parent again, now I can access the base plate or something like that. But of course, we're only working inside this light. So it's going to be script.parent.surface, or actually it'd be click detector. So script.parent.click detector. Now stick with me. This one's going to be a bit complicated, but you need to get this in your head if you're using click detectors. Script.parent.click detector, right? So now we're referencing click detector. If we put a colon, then we can clear the children, which means anything under it. So I clear the script, right? These are actions, so we can clone it, destroy it, things like that, But we're not doing that. We're checking if it does something, right? So script.parent.clickDetector which now enters its capabilities. Basically, clickDetector and then there's max activation distance, all this stuff. So now you can change properties, or you can call what it does. So if we type in clicked, or just click, right? Now it comes up with mouse click. You can do right mouse click if you want them to right click it, but we're just going to do mouse click. So double click that, right? And you can't just do equals true. You can't do that. That's not how it works. Mouse click, do a colon, and you'll see here it is, connect. Registers a function to call each time an event is triggered. Returns a connection object. So basically this means that whenever someone clicks it, whatever inside this happens. So now, this may get a little complicated for you, but hang on. Type in function. Now, a function is something you can call from other functions. So like, let's say I create a function cool, right? And it prints cool, right? This won't run until I call it by typing in cool. Like that, see? You do have to add these brackets after it. You can add that, but that's optional. You don't have to add a semicolon after everything. Like for this, yeah. But anyway, now that you know what a function is, we can continue. So connect to a function, right? But we haven't defined a function, so what's going on? Well, what we're doing here is, let's go ahead and do that. Now, Roblox Lua is awesome. With so this is what you would have got, right? So you're gonna want to delete this last piece here, but Roblox Lua is awesome in the fact that if you press enter, it creates your end for you. So basically what we're doing here is we're getting the mouse click and we're creating a function for it. We're creating one on the spot for the mouse click. So what we're going to do is script, so the script dot parent, so the parent of the script, dot surface light. So now script dot parent light dot surface light. So now we got surface light dot, because we want to change whether or not it's enabled, right? Change enabled changes whether or not it's off. Let's start with it off, right? So now script dot parent dot surface light dot enabled, right? And you could do equals true, but then it would never turn off if you clicked it again. So what I'm going to do to make this super simple is equals not, which is basically the opposite. If it is enabled, then it'll disable it. If it's disabled, then it'll enable it. So script.parent.surfaceLight.enabled equals not script.parent.surfaceLight.enabled. So now, if we go ahead and run this, we can look at what it's doing. When I click on it, turns it on, turns it off. If we click inside the light, surface light, you can see disables and enables. Because it recognizes we clicked, creates a function, and says the enabled is not what it was. So if it's true, then it'll become false. If it's false, then it'll become true. Just like that. And turn it off and on. Super fast. But yeah, it's very basic scripting. But now, the last part of today's episode, what about if statements? You know, if script dot parent, so script dot parent dot surface light dot enabled, and now you can't just do enabled equals false then, right? It has to be equals equals. See, equals makes something false or true. Equals equals checks if it is false or true. So if it is false, type in then. Just if script.parent.surfaceLight.enabled is false, then press enter, right? So if it's false, then script.parent.surfaceLight.enabled equals true. So script.parent.surfaceLight.enabled is true. And then press enter and then press backspace and type in else. Basically, this means if that if statement is not true, like, let's say the surface light.enabled is true. Well, obviously it won't go through with the if it's false, then turn it on. So we add an else. And now we just copy this and change it to false. So if this is false, which it is, turn it on. If it's on, if it's not off, then turn it off. Easy as that. And now what you can do is you can get the toolbox, click over here on models, then click on audio, and just do light switch SFX, right? And SFX stands for sound effects. And totally, that would be hilarious if we were to add the, I'm going to do that. So just drag this and put it over the block and right click, rename it to click SFX, right? And, alright, so here's something that's a bit more advanced, right? If you listen, it has a delay before it clicks. So let's go ahead and test that delay. Let's count it out. Alright, 1/1000. So it's about 1 second, but it's not quite 1 second. So 0.9. So let's try that. Now its time position is 0.9. But we have to we have to maintain that time position. So in here we're going to do script.parent, so script.parent light dot click SFX dot time position equals 0.9. Just like that, and then script.parent.click SFX dot, or actually it'd be colon and play. Just like that. Now you can copy this. Make sure you don't copy it like that. Copy it to where you don't get the spaces here. Click on the end of the else and press enter. Then just paste it. Control V or Command V if you're on Mac. So now, if we click play here, it'll work the same except it has a click sound effect. Not sure if you can hear it. I think what we need to do is turn up the sound of this. So let's just change it to like 5, right? So that's loud. 10 if we want even louder. Like that. Now, if we go ahead and click on it, now you can turn up the volume. I have mine all the way down, so that's why it's not very loud. But if you notice, if I click it really fast, you can see it overlaps, and you can use that to your advantage with other things. But yeah, it overlaps. But let's say, oh, I'm kind of getting bored of this click sound effect. Let's get a different one. Let's change it to this light. No, not that. Not that one. Maybe this one? Oh, this one sounds good. It's like just a click. So let's do 5 like that, all right? You click on the sound ID, you press Control C or Command C. Click on Click SFX and paste it. And press enter, but you're not done because the time position is still there since that was the last one. So press delete or backspace and press enter. Actually, you need to press 0 and then press enter. And then in the script, you can go ahead and delete this, by the way. In the script, just delete this line, and there we go. You have a different sound effect for your first light. Now if we go and turn it on. Awesome, isn't it? Alright, that's the first episode of Scripting Tutorials. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and leave a big fat like, and subscribe if you're new to this channel. And like, what's the worst that could happen if you subscribe? Like, you don't like my content and you end up unsubscribing. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.